Rawr! We're gonna be like dinosaurs in a little bit, friends. But hi, friends.
Can
you say hi, friends?
Hi, friend.
Awesome. Today's story, we are going to go all the way back to the land of dinosaurs and celebrate one dinosaur's very, very special day. In the Good Dinosaur, Arlo's birthday surprise. Can we all say happy birthday, Arlo? Happy birthday, Arlo! Arlo was excited. The next day was the triplets' 7th birthday. And every year, Mama and Papa planned a special day away from the farm. The previous year, they had gone berry picking, and the year before that, they had collected flowers. And Arlo shifted from foot to foot. He couldn't wait to find out what his parents had planned for him next. Well, Mama, Papa said, when he came in from the field. Well, Mama, Papa said when he came in from the field, would you look at these youngins? Why, they look like they're just about old enough for an adventure. Yeah, Buck shouted. Let's go adventuring. Where are we gonna go, Mama? Libby asked. Where? Arlo gulped. An adventure? That sounded scary. And surely his parents wouldn't plan anything too scary. Would they? Mama smiled at Libby. We're going for a picnic by my favorite waterfall. It's where Papa and I met, you know. Ah, boo-hoo, shouted Buck. You said we were going on an adventure. What's so exciting about an old waterfall? As the oldest, I think only by 15 seconds, Arlo interrupted. Come now, Buck, Papa said. Seeing the waterfall is only part of the fun. First, we have to get there, and boy, oh boy, I'll tell you, climbing to a waterfall can be quite the adventure. The next morning, they set off bright and early. We'd best be going if we want to make it to the waterfall before it gets too hot, Papa said. Buck and Libby groaned. Oh, they hated getting up before the sunrise. But Arlo had barely slept. All night he'd been worrying about the hike. What if he gets lost? What if he gets stepped on or by something and got hurt? There was a lot of things that could go wrong on this hike. And Arlo looked over at Mama and started to smile. She was carrying a basket of his favorite berries. Maybe the hike wouldn't be so bad after all. It wasn't long before Arlo's belly started to grumble. Mama, I'm hungry, he said. Can I have some berries? But Mama just shook her head. The berries are for your birthday picnic, Arlo. Come along. There'll be plenty to eat when we get to the waterfall. Arlo sighed, but kept walking. It was his birthday. Why should he have to wait? And suddenly, Arlo stopped in his tracks. He'd been so busy thinking about eating that he hadn't noticed when everything around him got darker. And without realizing it, he'd followed Mama right into a dark forest. Up ahead, Mama, Papa, Buck, and Libby happily continued on their way, and they hadn't even noticed that Arlo wasn't with them anymore. Arlo's eyes darted back and forth and back and forth as he followed the path. Strange shadows lurked in the trees, and sharp branches poked him as he ran. Mama, he shouted, wait up! By the time Arlo caught up with his family, they were climbing a very muddy hill. Arlo looked ahead at his siblings, already in the mud, and thought he had had enough adventuring for the day. Mama, he called, can I have some berries now? But Mama shook her head again. Not until we make it to the waterfall, she said. Oh, come on, Arlo. We're almost there. But be careful, the mud is slippery. Arlo started to climb. He hadn't taken more than 3 steps when something slid past him. It was Buck! Woohoo! Buck shouted, sliding through the mud on his back. And at the top of the hill, Arlo could see Libby running around the trees and jumping out at Mama and Papa. Boo! She shouted, making Papa laugh. Boo! Slowly but steadily, Arlo continued up the muddy hill. Come on, Slowpoke, Buck called, running past him. Last one to the waterfall doesn't get any berries. Arlo put his head down. He had wanted berries all this time. I can do this. At least I think I can. Maybe I can, he said to himself, and he climbed a bit further and stumbled on a rock along the way. It's my birthday. I can do anything today, and I am not going to let Buck eat my birthday berries. Finally, Arlo reached to the top of the hill, and he found his family staring at a giant fallen tree. What's wrong? He asked. Mama pointed at the tree. This is the path where we usually take to the waterfall, but it's blocked. We'll have to go another way. Papa looked around. It looks like our only choice is to cross these fallen rocks, and the cave there might be a dead end, he said. What do you think, Mama? Arlo gulped. He didn't like the idea of going into a dark cave or climbing over a bunch of fallen trees or rocks. Mama nodded. I think you're all big enough now to handle a few fallen rocks. And besides, look at that waterfall right on the other side of them. That's the one. Well then, what are we waiting for? Papa shouted. Let's go. Papa set off across the rocks with Libby and Buck close behind him. Arlo went next, and he slowly stepped over one rock, then another and another. He was going to reach that waterfall if it was the last thing he did, but as Mama started down the path, she tripped, and the basket of berries went flying, and the berries rolled over into a nearby cave. No! Arlo shouted. He'd gone all that way, and he was not going to miss eating his birthday berries. He turned around and ran straight into the dark cave. What happened to Arlo? Libby asked. He just turned around and ran into that cave, Mama explained. Buck looked over at the dark cave. Arlo went in there? No way! Papa cast a worried look at the cave. Maybe I ought to go in there after him. But before Papa could take another step, Arlo emerged from the cave. In his mouth was a basket of the fallen berries. Hey, guess what? Arlo called out. The cave isn't a dead end, and it leads right to the waterfall. I can't believe you went in there all by yourself and alone, Buck said. Weren't you scared? Asked Libby. Arlo gestured at the berries. Well, Mama picked these berries and carried them all this way. I wasn't about to let them go to waste. Now, come on, we've got a waterfall to see. Arlo turned and walked back through the tunnel, and his family followed. Papa smiled at Mama. It looks like our boy is growing up. That he is, Mama said, taking the berries from Arlo. Now, I think it's time for that birthday picnic, and the first berries go to Arlo for saving the day. Libby and Buck nodded. Way to go, Arlo, they cheered. Ow, Arlo said as he happily munched on his berries and looked at the waterfall. I guess some things are worth waiting for after all. The end. Did Arlo get his birthday berries? Yes. Did the whole family make it to the waterfall? Yeah, they all did. Happily ever after. As happy as a clam. Or I guess as happy as a dinosaur. Sometimes we just have to wait extra harder and a little bit longer to get what we want. But as long as we're patient and do our best, great things can happen. Well, friends, that's all the time we have for right now. But you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will see you soon. Bye-bye. Come here. No? Okay. Bye-bye.